was a speaker at TED Talk in October of this year. He's a very talented doctor who specializes in the field of rehabilitation and physical medicine. And he's currently the director of the Center for Bionic Medicine and the director of amputee services. He's also a professor at the Northwestern University. And he's dedicated his life to research on the prosthetic arm. And as he states in his TED Talk, there's many physical, emotional, and social barriers that accompany losing a limb, and it's obviously much more difficult to operate and communicate with the rest of the world. And usually this is caused by a traumatic experience like working in a factory or an automobile accident or war. And there's two general types of prosthetic arms. This is the first model that was used in World War I, and it's still used now sometimes, but it's a simple design that harnesses shoulder power and uses cables that cross the body, but it also has its limitations. So this is the more advanced model. It's the state-of-the-art myoelectric device that's controlled by little signals your muscles send out, and these work really well for people who have just lost like their hand, so they still have a lot of muscle connection in their arm, but for higher amputation it has to be more complex. So the question at hand is how these actually work, and how do you control the prosthesis and tell it what to do and how to move. He explains that we need a neuro interface system that can connect the device to our brain and thought system so that it becomes natural, like the way that we operate. He does this by harnessing the available muscle sites of the patient, and there's actually 4 nerve sites that run through your arm, and they actually take away some of the nerve endings from the arm and plant it in the patient's chest on the side that they had the amputation on. So therefore when the brain, they found an interesting thing that when they touched the patient's chest later after the nerve endings had grown into the chest, that they could actually feel the sensation when missing a hand or arm. But they could make it a separate, like they can still feel in their chest too, so they can differentiate. So this actually opened a whole new portal to the field, and he said it was like a scientific surprise that they could now try to give back feeling to patients who had lost a limb, so they could actually feel things again and have the sense of touch. And there are now over 50 patients around the world that are testing Todd's new methods of prosthetics. It has about a 96% rate of transferring the muscle from the 4 nerve endings of the arm to the chest, and it improved all testing against other methods, against the first method that I showed you. So Todd Quicken has done amazing research work on the prosthetic arm and has opened doors to a world of possibilities in the future progression of the subject. Not only has he allowed patients who previously had very little mobility with older models of prosthetics to have a free range of motion where they had none, but he has also made the power of touch possible for them again.